Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Changeling, the Dublin venue. Now, the fearsome Sir Christian Du Bois Ape Fiona is going to enter into the new underground subterranean city of Newshire. Now, this city is very beautiful underground, and also it has a way to get sunlight within it, so everything can stay at tip top shape and healthy and whatnot. But other than that, it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful and lovely city. Even though it is underground, it's fully functional with anything that you need. And basically, we will start our scene with Sir Christian entering into this lovely freehold that the gracious Baron Voidfrost has built for the people of Oldshire.
Christian will be hurrying his way along the way towards maybe the center of town. He came, or he wanted to come, with the purpose of paying more of a pleasure visit, doing some shopping, meeting people, etc. But for now, his first visit to Newshire is one of uh, dire need, at least in his opinion. He makes his way towards the village center and, walking quickly, is calling for anyone to point him in the direction of the chieftain.
Okay. So you'll see this individual. Uh, let me pull up her picture real quick. You see the little girl that you have met before. Um, you remember when she used to be all dingy, dirty, and whatnot. Little Lola. You see her. She'll look to you, and she'll basically run towards you, and basically say, "Sir Christian," and basically she'll run towards you. And before she gets to you, she'll stop like she's remembering something, and she'll bow and curtsy to you.
He looks at the girl with a haggard expression on his face, but he can't help but smile just faintly, and he returns the bow. I remember you, although I was less courteous when first we met.
You and she will basically look to him and say, "Oh, no worries. It was tough times and whatnot. I I get it."
He nods. I My business in the town of Newshire is of grave importance. Can you please point me in the direction of the village chieftain?
Oh, yes, about that. Well, the chieftain is not really the chieftain. He's more an advisor, but I do know where the well, the advisor and the mayor is. They're in this. They're that way near that tall building. I can take you to them.
He'll extend his hand to her.
And basically she will like grab it, and then she'll like start going towards that direction, like she's basically skipping. You'll see basically she's waving to her friends and whatnot. She's waving to all the merchants, and basically everybody is in a much more better mood than they was in the mountains. Like they're thriving down here and they're enjoying. It's a lot of laughing. It wasn't no laughing. It wasn't no type of camaraderie when they was in the mountains and whatnot. But now it's different. It's much different. It almost feels like you get this feeling of love, passion, and just this hearth here. And she'll take you towards the basically where they at the tall building, and she will knock on the door, and she will basically stand back, probably behind you, not in the couch, the letting you have like the floor to talk to this individual, which is blue skinned and has huge horns, and who is wearing the house Varich colors. Ah, Sir Christian. Oh, what you was about to say? He just said your name. That's it.
He Christian narrows his eyes at the troll just vaguely in recollection, and then he says in return, Sir Olga Apvarich.
Yes. Would you like to have a seat in my office, please?
He nods and enters if indicated.
So you will basically see him. You basically see as Ogla basically starts. When he goes in there, he has tea already prepared, and also the chieftain is there, but now acting as the advisor. He's sitting like right hand next to him, sipping on tea.
Christian will look
So
between the troll and the advisor, nodding to the former chieftain. He gets a strange look on his face at the tea setup because he wasn't really making a social call.
oh oh sorry. Back when I was in the mountains, I used to drink a lot, and I'm starting to cut down on that a little bit. So tea is helping, and so have a little bit of tea.
Christian blinks. Um, Although he is still beautiful, his eyes are red and he looks just slightly disheveled, if that's possible for his appearance. Um, but he'll take a seat.
He will look and see what you supposed to say.
He just takes a seat and places his hands on the table, looking down at his hands thoughtfully for a moment.
At this point, this is where the chieftain would speak up, and he would look to Sir Christian with very the old chieftain would look with very compassionate eyes, like he can kind of sense something is amiss with you, and he'll look and lean over. What seems to be troubling you, Sir Christian?
Sort of chewing it over, thinking of the best way to put it, and then he looks at the old she and says, "Banality itself came for my barony and my liege lord, the Baron Lionthorn. Many in the barony lie dead, balefires are now extinguished, and I come to you for aid."
Mm. By the great powers of the dreaming, this is troubling news indeed. Banality, scourge of our existence, the very bane of our lives. What can we humble people do to help if it's within our powers? Sir Ogla, what can we do to give aid? And Sir Ogla kind of nod. Basically, you can kind of tell that the advisor is his mouthpiece because he's a troll and he's stoic and whatnot. He just letting the advisor do the talking.
Christian just blinks, unconsciously or consciously now realizing he might have been better off speaking to the knight rather than the advisor, but she will be she, so he turns to the troll.
I am not gifted with words, Sir Christian. I'm only gifted with the abilities to give physical aid. But if it's within my power as mayor of this fair city, this fair subterranean city, I'll be happy to lend any aid that I can. All I ask is, what do you need for us to do?
He's As he's looking at Ogla, his eyes well up suddenly, and he shakes his head. I do not know as yet. I have only been told that the devastation is grave, and that many are slain, undone by banality. Any aid, any at all, I would think would be welcome. Whether it is those gifted with the restorative arts or those gifted with mundane medicine.
Hmm. We do have three sisters here that are gifted in both of those arts, both for the mundane of healing and that of that supernatural.
He nods. Um, Even those gifted, possessed of more sorcerous arts, balefires have been extinguished.
Then the three sisters will be those who you will need to speak to. They are gifted they are gifted in restorative arts and that of mundane healing. Old herbalist. Would that suffice, Sir Christian?
He's thinking for a moment, um, and he shall I speak with them?
Yes. Yes, they are in the far. They're in the far. They're in the east side of this fair land here. They have a old. They have a nice shack that they like to hold up. They built it themselves. They didn't take one of the homes that were supplied here. Uh, can you hold on for a quick second?
Yep.
My bad. What was he saying?
He was just asking if they want him to go speak to the sisters.
Yes.
He'll nod. Um, Furthermore,
Yes.
he just shakes
Speaking.
his head like he. What he was gonna say was just with a look of exasperation because he doesn't know what to expect yet. He just says, "And if nothing else, let it known the tragedy that has befallen my barony, and those poor souls who have been extinguished."
I will let it be known. I'm truly sorry about this, sir, Christian. Wish I was there to help.
He gets choked up as he says, "So do I."
What did he
And then
say?
he'll just stand up. He said, choked up with like tears just starting to roll down his cheeks. So do I. Like, I wish I was there too.
Hmm. You should go to them. They will be probably expecting you.
He'll nod uh, at each of the Fae, standing up, and then he'll start to walk out to follow their directions towards the sisters.
So you walk and you start to realize that this is basically uh, that this place is basically it's pretty huge. It's pretty huge as you continue to walk, and you would basically, as you walk through the streets, you see a bunch of people selling stuff and whatnot, and having a grand old good time. But I want you to roll me glamour, Romeo glamour. Their standard difficulty is 6.
One moment.
Mm-hmm.
1 success.
All right, man. So you start to get this weird feeling like you are just this weird, like almost like your fate is in the hands of somebody. Like it's this weird feeling of something is not of your like that. It's hard to explain, but it's almost like you can't really explain it. Almost like you're being watched. Almost like decisions that are being made is not of your own. When you approach, you see this old like shack, and you see these individuals in front of it, cloaks darkened, and basically just ominous aura about themselves, just this weird aura, and they are just holding like basically these threads.
He approaches them at a respectful speed, just walking steadily towards them, head down, eyes up.
And you hear one of them speak, ah, Sir Christian, you have come. We have seen this happen. Fates have deemed it so. Get it not, sisters? And the other two would just say, yes, they deemed it so. Threads don't lie.
He opens his mouth to say something, but just closes his mouth, and then a moment later says, I was told to seek you sisters out.
Seek us out. Wasn't it his barony destroyed? Yes. Written asunder. Yes. By banality. Yes. By the very thing that is the destruction of our kind. Yes, sisters. Yes. He was ripped. They was ripped apart, and he was not there to give aid. Yes.
He just turns his head as if he were slapped suddenly across the face. His expression goes stiff as he bites his lip. You speak truly, sisters, and now I come to ask for your aid, inasmuch as I ask for the aid of the village of Newshire.
Ah, he asked of aid, yes. His count was slayed, yes. Yes, his barony is in shambles, yes. Should we aid him? Should we aid him, sisters? We do not know. What should be in? What should we inquire? What should we bargain for? What would you of us? We are masters of soothsaying.
He's got a sad look on his face as his eyes flip between each of the three. I came asking for what aid is willingly given from the people of Newshire. If what aid you can give uh, myself and the people of our former barony. If dross will suffice, I can pay you in dross.
Ah, he offered dross, money, glamour. He offered it to us. Do we seek such thing? No. We are content with our threads of fate. What do we offer? What do we want? What do we seek? What do we want? One of my sisters is the master of restoration. I am the master of soothsay. And I am the master of the dreams. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Sir Christian, do you feel in your heart, as one who is part of the house of passion, love, and perseverance, is your love truly strong? Is your devotion strong to the barony still, even though you was not there? Do tell, do tell, do tell.
He takes a moment to consider, the unpleasant look on his face deepening. It is my duty to those who remain.
He said it is his duty. Does he says that because he's a knight? Of course, sister, he does says it because he's a knight. He is dutiful to the realm and those around it. He is truly chivalrous and truly noble as those of the she. Yes, truly he is. But we do not ask as a knight. We ask of those of the house of Fiona. Are you passionate? Do you love your barony? Do you love it with all your heart? Are you willing to risk your very soul shattering in order to keep it safe and to persevere? We are curious, Sir Christian. We only ask if you answer these questions. We just want to know.
He looked down at his feet for a moment. Many were the souls that were shattered.
Hmm? Soul shattered. Are you willing to risk your very life in order for to see this task done? If it arrives, are you, Sir Christian?
He looks at them like he's not quite understanding, but he'll say, "Hmm,
So he's looking at them. So he's looking at them like he doesn't understand.
well, yeah," he'll say, "It is true that I come to you for aid at the suggestion of the mayor of Newshire, but I do not fully know what you are asking me." I must relieve the devastation upon my barony with all haste. I cannot go on some manner of adventure. I must see to the relief at once.
Hmm. We ask not for you to go on an adventure of some sort. We ask for you not to go on a quest. I only ask, how much do you love your barony? We ask, what is your devotion? Not as a knight, but as one one of the dreaming. How much do you love that barony?
I grieve for the slain, but in my heart I cannot say that I bore those any true love.
Sisters, look, someone who speaks true. Yes, he speaks true. He does not use such flowery words, saying that he grieves deeply for all. But he does grieve, sister. He grieves for them. But he does not know them individually, but he grieves for them. Yes, this will suffice. Yes, we will give him aid. Yes, we will heal. Yes, we will see. Yes.
He just sort of hangs his head and sighs at that admission because it's true. His love was dutiful, but nothing more.
And they will look, we only ask one thing of you.
He looks up.
Go down to the picnic and share a meal with little Lola and those of Newshire.
He raises an eyebrow.
It would be something that you should, that you would like to do. The fates has deemed it so.
He looks at between the three with a sort of vague understanding dawning on his face. Then I shall endeavor to love the people of Newshire in return for their generous aid in my time of need.
Of course. They should be having a picnic right about now, aren't you? Is that correct, sister? Yes, they are having the picnic now to celebrate the grand festivities of Newshire. Yes, join them, Sir Christian.
His shoulders slump a little bit. He wants to go off and help right now, but this is the price that's been exacted on him. So he just closes his eyes, takes in a breath, and nods. And then he'll bow again. Thank you, truly, before starting off back to the town to partake of the picnic.
And they will nod, and they will say, "We will bring a few others to aid you as well." So, as Sir Christian, as he goes out back 10 minute, a 10 minute to 15 minute walk, he goes out, and basically he will see everybody having a good time. They're throwing the festival. It's nice. It's food all around, and it is a pretty nice it's a pretty nice place to be. Um, People are eating, uh, drinking, having a good old time. Is your character gonna look around for any notable people and whatnot?
Might as well, really. Like, he'll rub elbows with the citizens of Newshire, um, get to know, I suppose, over food and drinks, what the available services in town are as far as skilled professionals and whatnot.
So basically, Lola has basically made herself, and alongside with the advisor, he's just tagging along. But Lola has made herself the dignified tour guide of New Shire. Like, she just made herself like, look, like, you're following me. We're gonna have some fun, and basically she's just leading you around, and you see that she knows a lot of people, and a lot of people like her. And she's basically like telling you about the carpenters and whatnot, the people who can build. Basically, she tells you about trolls that basically help build some buildings when they was in the mountains and whatnot. It's a good time, and y'all basically y'all get to this picnic table, and she looks at you, was like, "Sir Christian, well, so I never really met a knight before. So what do you do?"
He blinks a few times at that question and then half smiles. We do as we are commanded.
Hmm. So, I see you have a sword right there in your armor. It looks really nice. So you fight the bad guys and whatnot.
He gets a full smile on his face. Yes, in so many words, I fight the bad guys.
Could you tell us a story? We like stories. And then you just see this drunk bugger like, yeah, we like stories, yeah. And then you see the old drunk Calder like, yeah, just right next to him, like, yeah, tell us a story, Sir Christian, of your valiant adventures, yeah.
He's looking around between the commoners, blinking at them. He's not suffering the curse of empathic blindness anymore, but he remembers his outlook. He remembers why he thought the way that he did. And it's sort of at odds with the way he normally thinks. However, it's not immediately repulsive, so he just looks at them with surprise on his face. A story. Hmm. And he'll think for a moment and stare off at nothing in particular as he hums to himself a little bit, searching the mists, through the mists of his remembrance for some sort of suitable story of knightly valor.
Mm-hmm. If you want to roll for that, you can basically ad lib however you want to. because it's more remembrance, and you could have did some epic level shit. And at this and at this point, you could tell that this little girl is an issue. Basically, she is looking at you. Her ass is huge, just looking, just waiting for you to tell a story.
What difficulty?
I'm going to say difficulty 5.
Well, that's sad. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that you're basically thinking you're keeping them in suspense so you can roll again. They like, oh, like they just like, and then you just hear her like, shh, Sir Christian has a story that he needs to tell. I want to listen. And then you just see people like, yes, yes, story.
Actually might do something a bit unwise right now and spend a imbalanced willpower because he's squinting as if he's looking at something really hard, you know, staring through the vagaries of the mists and memories that get jumbled around through the countless centuries. So he'll roll again, spending a willpower point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 5 successes that time.
Oh,
Have
oh,
to get an imbalance on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be lost in thought for a moment, and then he'll remember something very clearly. One of the more glorious memories of leading a vanguard of mounted armored knights on a charge that broke the front lines of an enemy uh, and ended up routing, an enemy army with a very daring action.
So as you tell your story, they look in awe, and basically, um, the the inner storyteller of Lola just looking, and she's eating, she has food, and basically she's eating, and basically she's just like just in awe, just looking at you, just absorbing the story, and everybody like called her just like oh, like hype manning it up, like yeah, just the story is fantastic, and they're just like they're engrossed in this story, but I want you to roll perception alertness. This is going to be hearing base. Difficulty standard. Standard difficulty.
1.
So you hear in a low tone, you hear almost like a snake.
I'm going to say Christian is maybe standing up on top of a picnic table as he's telling the story. And right when he gets to the point of smacking his hands together to illustrate the force of which his vanguard crushed the enemy, he just gets to that point at the conclusion of his story, and he stands up straight and looks around. What was that?
What was what, Sir Christian?
That chittering noise.
Uh, huh? And they'll start looking around. And I want you to roll your perception alertness again. Me investigation, because you're literally trying to look for this now. Like trying to look for like what's making that sound.
Any benefit for a bunch of people also looking for it?
Yes, I'm gonna say your difficulty is a 5 now.
Hmm. I'll spend just another willpower point because I've already crossed the imbalance bridge.
Mm-hmm. So 2 successes. Not 2 successes, but 1. My bad. I was looking at your old roll. Oh, 2 successes. So you will see something kind of like roughly moving, shuffling. It's kind of big. And it looks like it's kind of like camel. Like you see, like something is kind of moving. It almost like the air is shifting. Almost like something trying to hide itself.
Christian, just out of reflex, is going to ease his sword out of the scabbard. And then looking around, he's going to say loudly, I suggest that the area is vacated.
And you hear the advisor like, move, move. And basically he directs them and they all kind of moves. And as they tries to leave, you see basically Lola get snatched up like in like basically like in the claws of this thing. It basically like grabs her with the claws as everybody moving out and it's like and you see this thing has antlers and a skull face and this long tail with like these 2 huge arms basically with claws on it, and it has Lola wrapped up and you just hear like just like in one of it in it like in one of his like hands. This thing is pretty huge. It's not like huge like how other stuff was. Like it's pretty big.
Christian's actually going to jump off of the picnic table he was standing on and forcibly turn it over to create a makeshift blockade.
Mm-hmm.
And then from behind it, he's going to point with his sword at the lizard creature.
We're
And
going. We're going to be in. If you do that, we're going to be in rounds. If you don't mind.
yeah, makes sense.
All right. Let me get this picture ready. Mm-hmm. You could roll for your initiative if you want to.
Okay. Kind of wish I had the stats for the armor he's wearing, but it's been described to me as chainmail, so I'm going to go with that.
I will say +4.
Okay. It is like a treasure that he bought recently that's sort of like a skin suit of steel.
Okay. So +4. I'll just give them +4.
Right. I'll have to get after Maya for those stats. But anyway, he's from behind the barricade. Yeah, I'll just roll initiative.
So he's just going on 13. All right, so and Sir C is 8. Alrighty then. So he is going to try to shoot like this fireball at you at its mouth. And since you have the cover, it's going to be a +2 difficulty, so he has to get an 8.
Okay. Crouching behind cover.
Yep. So he has to get an 8. So he will shoot you with fire. So look at shield firearm. So just one because he's not spec'ing it. So so 1, 2. Two lethal come your way as he shoot this bluish blackish fireball at you from its mouth like
Stamina plus armor.
yes.
3.
Yeah, so basically you duck and basically it hits the barricade and basically it destroys it, but your armor basically takes the damage. And it doesn't do anything to you. It just the barricade took the full blunt of it.
Christian's gonna lurch back from the flaming cover, sweep his sword through the flames, and then thrust straight at the creature as a bunk for Holly Strike.
Cool. I'm gonna give that a 3.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I'm getting repeated phone calls. Can I just take 1 second?
Cool. All right, yeah. So our hero Sir Christian has just basically is going up against one of the very aspect of one of the main villains of the plot. We'll wonder if Sir Christian will survive this encounter. He is going up against the snake aspect of the main villain. I ask the players not to metagame if they're hearing this. This is just an intermission, just to basically showcase what Sir Christian is facing. He is facing a mighty beast with long, sharp claws and a long tendril for a tail, and a wicked fangs of a skull mouth of the beast, and basically antlers basically that can gore any mighty animal. And in his hand is a little Ishu girl that is captured, that is in the hands of this vile and wicked creature. Now we'll see if Sir Christian can rescue this individual. We'll see if he can be made a hero this day.
I'm back. Sorry about that. It's just stuff coming up. I might have to take a quick
And
minute.
now we're back to combat.
Right. I was going to roll for Holly Strike with the +3 bunk.
What you say?
I was rolling Holly Strike now with +3 bunk.
Yep. Yep.
5 successes.
Mm-hmm.
And a new nightmare rating.
Don't you gotta roll your glamour and will or
Yeah,
something?
that was the activation roll. Damage coming up.
Okay. Woo! Jesus. Ooh, he's not like the other one. All right. So I'm rolling for his soak. So that's 10 damage, right?
Yep, 10 lethal.
Whew, here we go. So 1, 2, 3 out of 10. Oh. So as you hit him, you basically take off one of his arm. Like you basically take off the left arm of this beast as it screams like you did some major damage to this creature. And it just screams like
If I have a choice in the matter, I'd like to blow off the arm that's holding the girl.
and yep. A matter of fact, yes, it was. You basically cut and she basically falls and like his grip loose and she just runs over behind you, scared.
Kristen will just push her back further behind him as he backs up and yells, "Run! Run!"
And and basically she'll start running over to where the other group is, and basically the crew's like Firebug, Firebug. And we will go at the top of the next round. Uh, he is going to try to attempt to grapple you with his tail. Hello?
Yep.
He is going to try to attempt to grapple you with his tail.
Hmm. I'll try and dodge him.
Okay, so he is rolling his strength. He will be specting this. His strength. So, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 8 successes.
Damn.
You can, yeah, you can roll the dodge.
But can I roll to parry?
No, this will not be considered. Oh, I don't think he has to has a weapon too for you to parry.
Well, you can parry unarmed attacks. Usually it doesn't go well for the unarmed person.
Oh, well, I will. Okay, I'll look more into that, but yes,
Let's
you can.
let's say I was gonna say no because it wasn't a certainty.
Okay. All right, but you can dodge.
I'll go for a dodge.
Okay. Ooh, that lessened a lot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically, out of that, so 1, 6. So two of it will get through, and basically, this is just going to be bashing damage. So no, one will get through because so just 8 dice. Oh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just six bashing.
Okay, rolling soak.
Mm-hmm.
Like a champ.
Yep, you are in its grasp, but basically he tries to squeeze, but your armor, just your strength, you are going against it. You like you strain and like the beast is roaring at you like, but Sir Christian you're not giving him an inch.
He just snarls back. Uh, are his arms bound right now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so he's fully grasped right now. So what he'll do is snarl back at the creature fearlessly, just fucking die as a bunk for Holly Strike.
All right, I'm going to give it a 1.
I'll spend a willpower on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's another new nightmare rating.
So that was the hit.
Yeah, 4. So glamour plus willpower plus 3.
Mm-hmm. I'll be right back. About to go use the restroom. You just do the roll real quick. I'll be right back. Hello.
Hello. Rolled 4 damage.
4 damage. All right. So 1, 2, 3. He will take one. One of that as you basically when you bark these orders like this, like die, you basically feel like you feel this after image of a lion behind you roars, and basically it kind of blast back his head a little bit, and he'll just like as he will try to basically squeeze you because it's the top of the round. You heard me?
Yep.
All right. So strength, his strength and brawl. So So basically, one, two, three, four, and those ones cancel out. You only taking one damage. Hello.
Sorry, that's just one damage.
Yep.
Oh, soaked 4 anyway.
Yep. You get it. You soak that. Now it's your turn.
Um, he's going to now struggling against the tail crushing him, but gaining regaining his composure. He's going to start invoking the names of the fallen Fiona, starting with his Baron, and then he's going to yell in the creature's face, "By their names and their memory, you will die."
I'm gonna give that a 4.
And as he says die, like, because his arms are bound, the lightning is actually going to shoot out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give that a 4.
Eight successes.
Ooh.
Another new nightmare rating. God.
Oh, that Jesus. Make sure you count the so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You will have 9 damage, sir. Because ones don't count.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So roll for his soap. So 1, 2, 3 out of 9, that is 6. You roar, and basically all of you just roar. You roar with such intensity, like you you see you see beside you a lion appear of your house, roars, and basically shakes the very foundation of this creature. It looks like it's about to shatter apart, and then the creature lets you go and it's like, yeah, and it basically just runs away. Like it just flicker flash, it just disappears. It wants nothing to do with you. It's gone.
Christian hits the floor and he promptly rises up, sword in hand, trying to give chase and finish off the creature, but he can't, apparently.
And basically you just hear behind you like the old drunk Calder the drunk, the issue just he yells, Sir Christian, the lion, the valiant, he has drove off the creature. He was not ready to face such a mighty knight. He saved little Lola. He was not ready. That beast was not ready for Sir Christian's glory, his blade, his roar. He is on the lion. And everybody, those who there just, they just roar, just uplifts, and just like this mighty beast that was here by the presence of your roar. You didn't you don't use your blade once, but your roar alone made this creature leave, and you just hear the drunk say, his roar alone made the creature shake and shiver and slam with fear. Sir Christian will now be known in this fair city of New Shire as the Lion of House Riona. Hip hip hooray! And you just hear them just, they basically just, they're uplifted that this creature, you didn't have to draw your blade. You literally roared and used Holly Strike, but you roared. You used your presence alone to scare this creature. They are uplifted. They are exalted. They never seen such a feat done before.
Christian's just standing, staring off into the space that the creature disappeared into. And then he's breathing heavily, coming down from the euphoria of battle. And yet, as the rage subsides, his shoulders shake, his head lowers, and he begins crying weeping for the memory of those that have been lost, that he just invoked to drive off the beast.
You see, basically, Lola comes over. She doesn't say nothing. She just hugs you. She doesn't say anything at all. She just hugs you. And as this happens, everybody grows silent from their cheering and their chanting, and they all go over and they start. Some place their hands on your shoulder, showing a sign of solidarity with you. They know what you grieve for, and basically they just all gather and just put their hand on their shoulder. Some of them hug you.
Christian's sword slips smoothly back into the scabbard, and he just stands there with one arm around Lola, and the hands of the commons of New Shire upon him. Such creatures are but a taste of the terror that awaits us, that which has come for my barony. I am glad to protect you in your hour of need, but ours has come and gone, and we must find a home left in the wreckage.
As you say your valiant words, you will see basically out of nowhere, you see the three individuals that you talked to. Let me find their pictures. You see these individuals, they will appear and they will go to you, Sir Christian. You heeded the fate's call. Thus you was here to fulfill its short-length prophecy.
Turns his eyes on the sisters, raises his hand from Lola just to wipe at the tears on his cheeks with his glove.
We will give, we promise to give you aid, but we will certainly do so now. For you heeded our call. You heeded our message.
He nods at them. And I thank you for the aid that you render and the lesson you have taught me.
Yes. But there is also someone else who would like to speak to you.
Looks at them inquisitively.
Follow us.
He'll disentangle himself from the commoners and start to move off to sisters.
And Ogla will basically go over, Sir Ogla will go over and basically distract them, basically talking to him and they getting them hyped up about your story, basically just trying to make you have some little room. So as you see her moving, she goes into like this dark alleyway and basically she'll stop and move to the side and you will see this individual. Uh, get that? You see this individual in this alley and he's draped in red and black. He's draped in a red and black cloak, dusty, dirty cloak. If you want, you can roll a intelligence politics if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
That was a good roll.
A very good roll. Yeah, so you will know that his cloak has the colors of House Denon colors. You will look and see his eyes is blue, and he has this cloak covering him. Sir Christian of House Fiona, do you know what has transpired today?
He shakes his head. I know only that I came for aid and received it and more.
Ah, do you know the ramifications of what you did upon Old Shire that day? What you and a few others has unleashed to this fair lands?
He's looking confused and shakes his head again.
Ah, luckily you drove the beast away. If you would have killed such a beast, New Shire would have been lost to its glamour, devouring essence that would have been laid forth for the conqueror.
That which occurred to Old Shire would have happened here.
Yes. Luckily, the beast was driven off as cowardice. Its will to survive drove it off, and your fierce roar, it would have devoured this place.
How 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 I don't understand.
When you defeated the beast of Old Shire in the mountains, it was nothing more than just the aspect of one's soul. It was only a he was only a gateway to a fearsome denizen of the darkness.
Are you saying that the creature was not defeated? Not at Old Town?
In Old Shire, the beast was just only an aspect of one soul, the conqueror, the devourer of glamour, the devourer of all things light, the bringer of winter.
You refer to banality?
No, it is much more different, much more deeper than that. This creature was only just the aspect. The one that you fought was the serpent aspect of one soul. The one that you fought in the mountain was the aspect of the beast of one soul. It is all one soul, the soul of the conqueror.
What can be done to guard against such creatures that, when they die, destroy the land that they fall upon?
He'll start laughing. Ah, young Sir Christian. Ah, the soul must be destroyed. The beast must be laid to rest. He has cometh. Glamour, changeling, all those are not safe from his wrath. He wished to devour. He wished for all to be covered in winter's glory.
And why do you tell me this? What aid can I offer?
I offer only respite. I offer only condolences to them, to you, Sir Christian. If you and your compatriots would have just let the beast do what it must to Old Shire, you would not have these problems. If you would just let the beast have its fill of fleshly, of changelings, of its dreams, you would not have these problems. But now we are here. We are here at the current time. Now it is the end game.
He's looking at the Fae of House Danon.
What was he saying?
Sorry, I just got a phone call again.
You okay?
But he was just looking at him. Like, everything he's said has been very perplexing to Christian. And like, could I roll some lore to know what he's talking about?
You can ask him questions. He's right here. Just Sir Christian, you ask me these questions. I tell you this. The beast that you defeated on Old Shire was meant to be killed. The creator of the said beast, the aspect of one's soul, wanted that to happen so he can have a gateway to here.
Narrows his eyes. Was this the figure I saw as we departed Old Shire? The great horned figure that appeared in my sight as we disappeared and the town was consumed.
Yes, that was him. He used the beast as a gateway. He wanted it to be killed. He wanted that to happen. It was all a part of his nefarious schemes.
And now this master can attack the realm with impunity.
With aspect of his soul, he is using this opportunity to get stronger than ever before. Eating freeholds as he's pleased to gather the glamour necessary to conquer.
His eyes will go wide at that. Are you saying that the light of our free balefires was consumed?
You should ask Baron Voidfrost. He was there when he defeated the beast, when he defeated the warrior aspect. They ate a freehold that was illegal there, not in his jurisdiction. So, Christian, do not confuse this mongrel with the current mongrel that killed the freehold, the countess that you're with. They're not the same. This one is surely different.
Do you believe that there are other such creatures at large in the world?
I weep for your barony. But the mastermind behind that is not the mastermind behind this. This one has different goals. Thus, I must leave you. Your group may have doomed us all, Sir Christian. And he'll start to walk away and start to slowly dissipate.
He just calls after him, what can we do?
Find the source. And then he'll just basically find the soul. Find the conqueror. And basically he'll just disappear.
Blinks after him for a few seconds.
The Fates are still right there. They're standing off to the side. They're silent.
He'll just step back over to them.
Sir Christian, we have no words that we can say to console you. All we can offer is the final words that he says. Find the source. Find the one soul. Find the conqueror.
Then I shall rally what others I can, be it is done. But for the now, I must tend to the fallen and the ruin of my barony.
Do so. We shall aid. We shall give aid. That's what we shall do.
He'll nod solemnly at the three sisters, give a bow, and then start to walk off.
Okay. Is that where you want to end our scene?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another exciting installment and episode of the of Changeling in the Dublin venue. I hope y'all enjoyed this action-packed and very soul-fulfilled episode.